bow down prostrate. You are the only one worthy of praise. I stand before you with an attentive heart. Erase my sins from the present and past. To you I pray, bow down prostrate. You are the only one worthy of praise. I stand before you with an attentive heart. Erase my sins from the present and past. When you
Phone, where's my phone? Yeah, I can't find anything here. Laptop. SubhanAllah, how many of the people today, our youth, the Muslims, are misorganized? I mean, they don't have a schedule, they don't have a proper organizational skills, they don't have priorities. Time is such an important thing. Organizing yourself is such an important thing. If you want to achieve your goals in life, if you want to be a good Muslim, if you want to be a successful person in this dunya and the akhirah, you need to have a schedule. You need to organize yourself. You need to have a list of priorities of things to do. You need to put dates. You need to put things such as deadlines and so on that you want to achieve. Without this, you're just like this, like a mess, right? Things all over. You don't know where. It's going to waste your time. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells in the Quran, وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ. And by time, Allah swears by time that indeed, without a doubt, man is at loss. SubhanAllah. Time is such an important thing if Allah swore by. So we as Muslims, as the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we need to take care of this. We need to achieve our goals. We need to use the technology that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the brains to invent. We can use it towards our benefit, towards planning ourselves. So many things have schedules. So many things have lists of to do and tasks and so on and so forth. Let's use it for the benefit of this ummah, of being good Muslims, being successful by not wasting our time in this dunya inshallah and for the akhirah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Unorganized, disheveled, everything a mess, not in order. These are some of the symptoms that we find in today's time. And I don't know if you've noticed, but it has so much of an effect that it affects the person even in his dressing. Sometimes you meet someone who you can see just by his dressing, you can tell that this person is unorganized because you can see the code of his dressing, the way he's dressed, the way he's looking on his face. Sometimes, you can just tell that this person has not waked up organized. And like they say, that many a times you find that a person, his whole life is just one sad life. Because why? At the moment you don't have your life in order, things just do not go your way.
Basically, just live day by day, moment by moment, minute by minute. You don't look ahead. You don't plan at all. You don't have your list. Like, where's your list? Where's your schedule? Where's your, your preparation? Where are your goals? What do you want to achieve? Right? And this is something that goes contrary to the Sunnah from Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because he sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to teach the Sahaba. He taught us that you should plan, that you should do the asbab, that you should have your tawakkul on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of course, but you should always put a plan for yourself. And we see that. SubhanAllah, look at this, the perfect example. And he is the messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is the most beloved to Allah. And Allah is without a doubt on his side, right? However, he never went into a battle without planning. He would plan everything. Not just that, he would make sure that he would appoint the right person, the best person to lead this or to do that or to take care of certain things. SubhanAllah. To teach us that yes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala without a doubt He will help the believers and is there. But we need to prepare, and you need to have this preparation, this goals. We find the ummah today, and this is again a symptom of lack of faith, because again we talked about wasting time, right? If you're not prepared, if you don't have a plan, if you don't have a schedule, you waste time, right? You don't meet deadlines, you don't have goals, you don't achieve anything really in your life, and time passes by, right? So this is something in the ummah we see it today. Youth are wasting their time, youth are disorganized, specifically when it comes to school, right? And this is something I think is quite a lot, to do with school, with the way, with health even, right? People are saying, I have so many assignments, okay, I'll do them like a few days before, and even with myself, when I find this sometimes that I procrastinate a lot,
And
right?
there's a beautiful saying that said also, don't leave today's work for tomorrow.
Work for tomorrow,
You know,
subhanAllah.
and many times you find also that when you say to them, that brother, what is wrong? Why are you disorganized? What is wrong? What's this? I'm a free man. Freedom of
Freedom.
speech. There is this, when it comes to freedom of speech, or I'm free, I can do whatever I want to. Yes, but there is always, Islam
There's a
teaches
limit.
us there is a limit
There's a
to
boundary.
everything. Yes, you do have freedom of speech, but your freedom of speech can't go to an excess where it hurts another person, or it goes
Right.
against the beliefs of
Principles.
another, principles of another. Yes, you are free, but that doesn't mean that you should
Do
just dress
whatever,
whatever
do
you want to,
whatever.
and just live however you want to, and just do whatever you want to. It's basically bringing living principles, because, and how beautiful it's mentioned also. Speaking of this, and there's another disorganized side also, where you find a person, he's building a beautiful house, he has a beautiful garage, he's getting the best of tiles, he's getting the best of furniture for his house, the best of cutlery for his kitchen, and the best of items, and just to beautify the house. Yet the scholar says, but the fawda and the disorganized is in your heart. You
SubhanAllah.
understand?
Right.
You're building everything on the outside, but your
there's
inside is
the inside
unorganized.
is unorganized.
You
Yes,
understand?
when it comes
So
to-
basically, again, we have to balance
You have to balance the outside and the inside.
outside and
And
the
SubhanAllah,
inside.
going back to the issue of being students, of course, pertaining to the youth today, right? If you don't have a set schedule, right, when you wake up, and people wake up, do whatever, they go to sleep whenever, they eat whatever, when you're committed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when you have iman, again, you cannot be unorganized. Yani your day will be organized based on the salawat, the way and I remember a beautiful, brother, mashallah, yani, he used to schedule his daily things, his work and everything amongst the salawat. Yani he would have office appointments, doctor appointments, he was a doctor. People would come and he would basically have, before Dhuhr, after Asr, like this how you would make the times, and before 3 to 4. Or
And it's
like,
amazing because these people have order in their lives.
SubhanAllah.
They have, they can tell you it's almost as if you ask where is he, you can exactly tell at what time where he will be. You
Right,
know?
and we find that subhanallah, yani there's barakah in the time. There's they achieve things and they can do things. And this is, if we look at an ummah level, right? Our ummah today, yani we're not progressing that much. We're not that. We're basically ingesting knowledge from people. We're a knowledge consuming culture, right? We wait for other people to solve our problems. Really, yani, instead of us solving our problems, instead of uniting, and again, that's because of a lack of priorities, number one, and I want to talk about priorities is something very important, and a lack of understanding, yani, what we should do, and how we should plan, and how we should work together, and what kind of schedule we should have, right? We're unhealthy. We don't have a workout schedule. We don't have a healthy schedule. We don't have basically no order in our life. And it shows in the position that we are. Because some people might say, no, brother, what are you talking? You're going to really to extreme. Now, of course, I'm not generalizing. I'm talking in the majority. But the proof, again, is where is our ummah right now?
Your time is running out. And in Arabic, what word is used for when time is running out? The word for that is al-asr. And asr literally means time that is running out. It's the last part of the day when the day is running out. It's time of asr prayer. Okay, asr literally comes from asir, juice that is squeezed out, time that's being squeezed out of your hands. Asr al-thawba even it's used. So Allah talks about this time. You're drowning, you're unconscious, your time is running out. What's the first thing you need to do to be able to survive if you're in that position? The very first condition has to be you have to wake up. And even if you were in the most wonderful dream, and in your dream you were enjoying the greatest success, you're driving a Ferrari down, they have these car commercials with the hills and the highways on the side, the water on the other side, right? You're in one of those cars, the top's been dropped off, and you're just cruising along the highway, enjoying life. That's your dream. But when you wake up, what do you realize? You're drowning. You're underwater.
If you take this organizing, a person not being organized in his life, it's important for a student.
Huh.
Even because why? You find that a student, if you are organized, you will know what type of teacher you need to sit by,
Right.
who you need to listen to, you understand? Because if a person is disorganized, sometimes you find
Here
that
and
you're
there.
sitting by a teacher who's teaching a subject, maybe you're not ready to take in that subject. So you're basically causing trouble because you will be misinterpreting what you've heard,
Right.
you know. So it's very important that a person is organized so that you know how to, according to what do you need as you're going about in your life. It's so important.
SubhanAllah. Now let's move to kind of like, of course, this is the problem. We have identified the problem, the disease. What are some tips that we could give to the youth and to ourselves first and foremost? Because of course, no one's perfect, and we should all try to remind ourselves from our experience, and that we should share the things that work. For example, with you being a student, mashallah, knowledge. What can the youth do or the ummah do to arrange their life in such a way that they will achieve things, that they will benefit themselves, that they will be organized, that they'll have some kind of goal and direction in their life?
To tell you the truth, I'm not the one to speak about this here because
I mean,
neither am I so organized and so But what do we do know?
Something that would benefited you in your life.
From the scholars that I've mentioned, first of all, it is of, if you're a person that's lazy to write, at least take note of yourself first. Love yourself. Look at yourself. Be proud of yourself. Always try to present yourself in a good way. First of all, when I'm saying that, always be neat.
Right, be neat.
Be a person that you should be so neat that if at any time when you leave the house, if someone would say, brother, come with me to this place here, this meeting, you're ready. Because you are always neat. Number two, look after your body when it comes to odors and all of these things.
Right.
These are small things which are very important. Always have a good smell on your body, Always, these are things that...
And have a healthy body.
Have a healthy body, I'm not saying don't eat junk, but I'm saying also have a
Don't
day...
eat junk or eat junk?
I'm saying don't eat junk, but have a time in the day or during the week where you have a small run, in the morning, where you have a little bit of training, 5, 10 push-ups.
And if you do that, you can eat a little bit of junk, like some Burger King or
eat a
McDonald's
little,
once in a while.
And once in a while, get some vegetables and that, because all these things affect a person, and it brings in you that liveliness, to care about. Because a person who's disorganized, you'll just see him like, oh, today again, he doesn't worry about combing his hair, he wears 6 different colors, and it's almost as if he doesn't worry about himself.
And you see this around a lot.
You see this
even
around
the
a lot.
people that are representing our ummah, and people are not clean, they're not tidy, they're not...
And I believe these are important things before coming to the major stuff of organizing. Number two, skipping on to the second point, it is take note of your activities during the day. Take note of what is beneficial to you and what is not beneficial to you, so that you can pull time from here, pull time from there, and try to set in it a pattern. Have a routine, If you look at every successful, I'm just digressing from every successful soccer player, every successful businessman, if you ask them, what is how did they reach this level? It's hard work and routine. For example, you'll find guys that have picking up weights, or bodybuilders or soccer players. If you ask them, he'll tell you, I have to wake up 3 in the morning,
drink this,
train this.
Right.
He won't say that he's on time, on par, steadfastness, and he has a routine.
Right.
And it brings him to a certain level. So once you have a routine in your life, it becomes your habit. And also Islam orders us to be people who have this, so that why the scholars, the Salaf, used to have a routine in their life, and they could sit at night and make muraqabah or tadabbur, tafakkur. They could how do you say this word? They used to they used to think about what they did during the day,
review
and meditate. Meditate of all the actions during the day, and they could take note of, oh, subhanallah, I did this, that.
Accountability.
Accountability.
One of the things that benefited me and of course I have also, I think I'm one of the people who are suffering from this, subhanAllah, that sometimes we're not organized. One of the things that benefited me is to set a list then of things that I have to do. Like even, take a piece of paper and write it. Or today we have our cell phones, we have so many gadgets, right, that have notes or, tasks that you can add. And have it with you and put there, brainstorm of the things that you have to acknowledge, complete. Short-term goals and long-term goals. For example, today I have to do 1, 2, 3, and put realistic goals. Don't think that I will do this, today I will, run 10 kilometers. You're not going to be able to run 10 kilometers, let's be honest, right? Put something realistic, something short, right? Then put a long-term plan, such as, this week I want to achieve this. This month I want to achieve it. In this holiday I want to achieve this. This year at the end I want to, this Ramadan I would like to achieve this. Then once you've put this, short-term plans, long-term plans, then prioritize. What is the most important? Which one should I achieve first, right? And just like the fact that you're writing it down, just the fact that you're noting it down, and you crossing it out when you finish, right? This gives you some kind of sense of an accomplishment, it gives you a sense of direction that you're doing something. And this is what the Muslim should do. You should have direction, and as to where do we go, what do we do, right? So these priorities, these lists are very important, to in the life of the Muslim.
Very important. And don't ever, we should, as Muslims, we should never think for a moment that, like we said, we are free. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made mention, أَفَحَسِبْتُمْ أَنَّمَا خَلَقْنَاكُمْ عَبَثًا
Subhanallah.
وَأَنَّكُمْ إِلَيْنَا لَا تُرْجَعُونَ. That have we just created you just to, just to be disorganized, do whatever you want to, but basically I have this time, I can, okay, I'm going to watch some TV now, okay, I'm going to go to the movies, okay, I'm going to do this here, not organizing, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَأَنَّكُمْ إِلَيْنَا لَا تُرْجَعُونَ, and do you think that you are not going to return to us? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that I have not created the jinn nor mankind but to worship me. Some scholars have mentioned أَيْ لِيَعْرِفُونِ, to recognize me. And thus the importance is that your ibadah, you have to organize it. That's why we find our salah is basically organized for us, to teach us that everything, and like you said, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam for jihad, although he was the beloved of Allah, he used to plan, So basically, as a Muslim, as a person, we need to have a planning and have a way that we live our lives so that we can gain the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
And subhanAllah, as we said, another thing the benefit, as we just mentioned, right, is managing your time according to the salawat. And imagine, you wake up, and of course you don't want, what we said in some of the other talks, that you should do small things but consistent, right? Like for example, you can, you wake up for Fajr, okay? You can spend after Fajr 15 minutes, 20 minutes, not more than that, reviewing your Quran or reading your Quran. Then, you go to work, you have your work schedule. Then you can have, after Dhuhr, another review of the Quran. Then you can say, whenever you finish your work, you can go for a 15-minute jog or something like that. Then you can have this time dedicated for your family. You can have a certain time dedicated for your email, checking your email, and so on. Not that, you check an email all the time, and you're doing this and you're doing that. Now, basically, and after Maghrib, you're going to have, for example, you're going to meet your friends, or you're going to have appointments, okay? Or, after Isha, you're going to spend some time reading a book, or, being with your family, or, everything should, I found this, that it works really, really good, because you basically, that you have to pray, that you have to go to the masjid, and this is something, for sure, inshallah, that you keep, right? And between these things, you can organize, certain aspects of, of your routines and your daily life.
There was one of the famous scholars, and this is so beautiful to understand this here, and I hope our viewers can understand this here, where they mention of one of the great scholars that he used to use the time from Asr to Maghrib to write his books. He wrote over 1,000 books. So they mentioned that one day someone came to visit him, a very important person. But now his time was from Asr to Maghrib to write. So this person came to visit him. It could have been his teacher or someone. So he couldn't tell him that, I use this time to write my books. So what happened is, he said to his teacher just give me a minute. He went, he opened his book, and he just wrote one word, and he came back again and he sat with him. So he asked him, why did you do that? He said, no, it is my habit to write from this time to that time. So even writing one word, I didn't break my routine. Subhanallah, if you think about it, because why? If a person is doing something and then you miss it, it becomes difficult for you to start with that routine again. So this basically it's teaching us of how the importance of routine and how to keep steadfast on bringing order into your life.
The last thing that I want to close with, and is something that I remind myself is that, and we should not procrastinate, and we should not leave things till the last moment. This is something very important. We might have an exam, and we know that it's a month from now, and we say, okay, I have time to study. I'll study, a week from before. I'll study a few days. I'll study a weekend before. And we should do a little bit each time, and make sure we know the deadline, and don't leave things till the last moment, because why? Things will pile up. You're gonna have this thing and that thing and that thing, and of course things are unexpected and they'll pop up. And at that moment when you really need to do something, you're like, oh, I can't because I have just so many things, and you can't, juggle it. So I think this is something very, very important. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us to be amongst those who know how to use their time, how to spend their time properly, and plan, make use of these blessings that Allah has given us, this technology, iPads, iPhones, and we have so many, a very beautiful thing, and I'm not trying to make a commercial for anyone, but I have there's an app, it's called AnyDo, I really, really have benefited from this app, and you type your things, and you can cross them out with your fingers, and you can prioritize and put them on days, and it's kind of just a beautiful thing too.
It can make your life easy.
Yeah.
Subhanallah.
Oh Lord, to you I pray, bow down, prostrate. You are the only one worthy of praise. I stand before you with an attentive heart. Erase my sins from the present and past. To you I pray, bow down, prostrate. You are the only one worthy of praise. I stand before you with an attentive heart. Erase my sins from the present and past. Oh, to you I pray. You are the only one worthy of praise. Oh my Lord, I surrender to you. I entrust all of my affairs to you. I depend on you for your blessings too, both with hope and fear of you. There is no fleeing